and welcome back to lesson 3 on the Maya. And in this lesson we're going to be taking a closer look at Mayan cities. So the title here is Inside a City-State. Now a city-state is a city which is like its own country. If you think about our country, the UK, you have Manchester, London, Birmingham. These are cities, but they have one government. They have the leader and the government, which is in London. All the cities in the UK are under UK law. They make one country. However, in Mayan times, many cities were kind of like their own state. They were their own country. They had their own ruler and they had their own laws. And that's what we're going to look at in a little bit more detail today. Mayan territory was split into city-states, most of which were independent of one another. So like I just said, they had their own rulers, their own laws, and so on. Each state was made up of a city and the farmland and villages around it. The city was home to the state's ruling family, so like the royal family, other powerful people, and the most important buildings. Friends or enemies? Not only were most Mayan city-states independent, but they were also far apart. Despite this, city-states had contact with each other. Merchants, these are people who sell things. They often travelled between different cities. So if one city was good at making, for example, materials such as silk, but another city was good at making things out of wood, they would trade between each other and they would sell things to each other. And these merchants could carry messages as well. However, city-states didn't always get along. If rulers disagreed, then violence or even war could break out. The city-states of Calakmul and Tikal were fierce enemies and they fought for decades. The wall painting on the left shows a battle between Mayan warriors. The heart of the city-state. In the city, in the centre of many Mayan cities, there was a large open space, and you can see that there, the open space right in the middle, and this is where marketplaces were held. This is an open square. Let me just mark that for you. All of this area here, you'd have markets here, you'd have meetings here, and in the middle there would be a grand temple pyramid. We'll be learning more about those in a future lesson. And they towered over all of them. There are also ball courts. So we'll be learning about a special Mayan sport which had balls, which they played with, and platforms, so like stages where people could stand on. The ruling family often lived in single-story, that means one-floor palaces in the city centre. So if we look at the edge here, this looks like it may be one of the palaces, single story. And they also had other houses in the city, and poorer people lived in simple homes outside the city. Chichen Itza. Chichen Itza is in modern-day Mexico, so that's actually classed as North America. It was one of the largest Mayan city-states and also a major trade centre. People from all across Central America would travel there to buy and sell goods. A lot of the art and buildings found at Chichen Itza aren't in the traditional Mayan style. This may be because many different styles were brought to the city-state by traders and visitors from outside the Mayan territory. So just think about that. If lots of people were travelling there from all over, they were bringing their ideas, their building styles, their fashions, their foods. So if you want to find out what it was really like in Mayan times, Chichen Itza isn't the best place to find out about everything because it's a mixture of lots of different styles. El Castillo, which means the castle in Spanish, is a huge pyramid at the centre of Chichen Itza. Some people believe that the Maya designed this pyramid so that if you clap your hands in front of it, the sounds echo like the call of a quetzal, and this is a sacred bird in Mayan culture. El Mirador, which is in modern-day Guatemala, was at its most powerful around 2,000 years ago. At that time, El Mirador was a massive city-state which was home to tens of thousands of people. The city is famous for its enormous buildings. especially Ladanta Pyramid, which is one of the largest pyramids in the world. And now we'll look at Caracol. Caracol is in modern-day Belize, another country in South America, in Central America. And now at its peak, when it was most successful, it was between AD 550 and AD 900, and it was much bigger than the largest city in Belize today. So just think about that now. Even the largest modern city that you can go to now in Belize was not as big as Caracol. The pyramid at Caracol is called Cana, which means sky place. At 42 meters tall, it's the highest man-made structure in Brazil, and that includes all the modern buildings today. Caracol was known for its success in battle, its warriors won many wars against neighbouring states. So I've just mentioned Caracol, which is in Belize. Belize is up here at the top. It's at the edge of Central America before we go into North America and Mexico, and that's where Caracol is. Now, what I'd like you to do, you're going to pause this video and you're going to watch a video about someone who goes to Caracol, the ruins, and you can have a look at that. If you're on Google Classroom, that video will be included next to this one. If you're on YouTube, then it is the next video after this one in the playlist. So please watch that video, then come back to this one. Okay, so this is the task for today. You can see the yellow at the top. I can draw and label a plan of a Mayan city. You have got there a plan, and it's a bird's eye view. We're looking straight down onto it. Now you are going to draw this plan. You're going to need to use a ruler, and then you're going to see if you can label the different parts using an arrow. Please draw with pencil and a ruler, and if you want to label in pencil in case you make a mistake, you can. I'm going to ask you to pause, and then we're going to label it together. So pause the video while you draw this. Okay, so first off, I'm going to say that for the village, this here is a village. These rectangles here, they are houses, they're a village. And remember, villages were around the city. There's another village here, and another village here. Okay. Next, so we've done village. Pyramid. This is looking down on top of the pyramid, because remember, we're above, we're a bird's eye view. And it's a square-based pyramid. Actually, so let's label that one. Next, the public square where they held markets and other meetings is all of this area in the middle. So all of this here and here, that is the public square. Up here we have farmland, and those are crops that are growing. And at the side of the city we have a palace. Remember, the wealthy people would live in a single-story palace. So that is our map that's been annotated. So yeah, that's the end of this lesson. If you have any questions about what you've seen today, let me know. And otherwise, I will see you in lesson 4. Thank you for taking